When you think about protecting something valuable, what comes to mind? You might picture a bank vault, with its reinforced steel and complex locking mechanisms, or perhaps a majestic castle, standing strong against invaders. These images evoke a sense of security and impenetrable defense. But in today's world, our most precious assets are digital. They exist as bits and bytes of information, stored on servers, in the cloud, and on countless devices. These are the digital treasures we need to safeguard. Bits and bytes of information that represent everything from financial records and intellectual property to personal data and critical infrastructure controls. Protecting this information is a complex challenge, a constantly evolving battle against those who seek to steal, disrupt, or destroy it. It demands more than just the basics. It goes far beyond simply installing antivirus software or creating strong passwords. Those are important first steps, but they are not enough. It demands a holistic, multi-layered defense, a comprehensive strategy that addresses all potential vulnerabilities. This defense needs to cover everything from sophisticated cyber attacks launched by nation-states or organized crime syndicates to something as seemingly insignificant as lost USB drives, which can be a major entry point for malware. Many believe cybersecurity is just about technology, focusing solely on firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and other technical tools. But it's really a blend of tech, processes, and people. It's about creating a security-conscious culture throughout the entire organization. A firewall is useless if an employee is tricked into giving away credentials through a phishing email or other social engineering tactic. And encryption is meaningless if servers are left physically unprotected, vulnerable to theft or tampering. True security is about building a culture of awareness, where everyone understands their role in protecting information assets. It's about fostering a mindset of vigilance, not just relying on technical barriers. Imagine protecting a priceless painting, a work of art that represents a significant cultural and financial value. You wouldn't just lock it in a room, would you? You'd use guards, sensors, cameras, and strict access rules to ensure its safety. You'd implement a comprehensive security plan, not just rely on a locked door. Similarly, information security requires multiple layers, a concept often referred to as defense in depth. These layers encompass physical security, digital security, and the human factor. For a CISA auditor, understanding how these layers work together and how they can potentially fail is crucial. The job isn't about memorizing definitions from a textbook or blindly following a checklist. It's about critically assessing the overall security posture and spotting gaps in the fortress. This includes identifying weak digital locks, such as outdated software or unpatched vulnerabilities, lacks physical security, like unlocked server rooms, or untrained staff who are susceptible to social engineering attacks. Auditors must ask, are digital and physical defenses strong enough to withstand potential threats? Are people aware of the risks and prepared to respond appropriately to security incidents? This domain challenges us to think like strategists, to see the big picture and understand how all the pieces fit together. It requires defending data from every angle, anticipating potential threats, and proactively mitigating risks. Every layer matters, and missing just one can bring the whole system down, leading to a security breach, system failure, or other cybersecurity incident. As we explore CISA Domain 5, remember, security is a fascinating, multifaceted puzzle with many interconnected pieces. Let's start piecing it together, one layer at a time, to build a robust and resilient security posture. Before we can protect assets, we need to know what they are and where they live. In information security, an asset is anything valuable to the organization: data, systems, devices, and software. Today, data isn't just in one place. It's in the cloud, on vendor systems, on employee devices, and everywhere in between. This distributed landscape makes the auditor's job much harder. You can't just check the main gate. You have to inspect every window and back door. A common audit finding: companies secure their own data centers but overlook third-party vendors, exposing sensitive data. That's why asset inventory and data classification are critical. Organizations must formally identify, classify, and track all information assets. Without a complete map, you're defending blindly. For the CISA exam, expect questions on asset inventory, data lifecycle, and the risks of incomplete records. Building a security program from scratch can feel like an overwhelming task. Where do you even begin? What are the essential elements to include? That's precisely where established frameworks like ISO 27001 and the NIST cybersecurity framework become invaluable resources. They offer a structured approach to tackling this complex challenge. Think of them as architectural blueprints, detailed and structured guides for managing information security effectively. They provide a solid foundation upon which to build your security program. ISO 27001 is an internationally recognized standard, specifically designed for creating, implementing, maintaining, and continually improving an information security management system, or ISMS. It's not a one-time project with a defined start and end date, but rather an ongoing process, a continuous cycle of improvement that aligns security measures directly with overarching business goals and evolving legal requirements. NIST's cybersecurity framework, on the other hand, is elegantly organized around 5 core functions: identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. It's designed to be flexible and adaptable, helping organizations of all sizes and industries to thoroughly assess and continuously improve their overall security posture. For the CISA exam, it's crucial to understand what these frameworks are designed for, their primary objectives, and most importantly, how they provide a structured approach to effectively manage risk across the organization. Auditors frequently use these frameworks as benchmarks, meticulously comparing a company's existing security practices against industry-recognized best practices outlined within the framework. Therefore, a lack of adherence to a recognized framework is a major red flag, immediately signaling potentially significant gaps and vulnerabilities in an organization's overall security defenses. Truly mature and effective security programs rely heavily on well-defined and structured frameworks, rather than a collection of random, ad hoc security controls. When preparing for the exam, make sure to focus on understanding the core purpose and overall structure of these frameworks, rather than attempting to memorize every single detail or specific control within each framework. Once assets are identified, the next question is, who gets access? That's the job of Identity and Access Management, or IAM. IAM ensures the right people have the right access at the right time. It starts with unique digital identities and strong authentication, often using multi-factor authentication. Access is governed by the principle of least privilege. Users get only what they need, nothing more. Auditors scrutinize onboarding, access changes, and especially the removal of access when employees leave. Orphaned accounts are a huge risk. Regular access reviews are essential. Weak IAM controls signal a breakdown in security governance. If IAM is the gatekeeper, logical controls are the locks on every door. These are technical safeguards, like encryption and firewalls, that enforce security policies. Encryption scrambles data so only those with the key can read it, protecting both data in transit and data at rest. Firewalls filter network traffic, blocking threats before they reach sensitive systems. Auditors focus on whether sensitive data is encrypted and firewalls are properly configured. The CISA exam expects you to know the difference between symmetric and asymmetric encryption. Missing encryption or misconfigured firewalls are major audit findings. Even a lost, unencrypted backup tape can lead to disaster. Logical controls are a critical line of defense. Always check for gaps in these technical safeguards. Digital security is only half the battle. Data lives on physical hardware. Physical security controls protect buildings, rooms, and equipment from theft, tampering, and disasters. Data centers need layered defenses, fences, guards, keycards, biometrics, and surveillance. But don't forget endpoints. Laptops, desktops, and mobile devices are frequent targets. A stolen, unencrypted laptop can cause a major breach. Secure disposal of old hardware is essential. Never just throw away a hard drive. Auditors look for weak links like unsecured ceiling tiles or missing visitor logs. Environmental controls and fire suppression are also checked. Neglecting physical security can undermine all digital defenses. On the exam, expect questions on layered physical controls and real-world failures. The cloud has changed everything. Now your data lives on someone else's computer. Cloud security is defined by the shared responsibility model. Providers secure the infrastructure, customers secure their data and configurations. A common mistake is assuming the provider handles everything. Misconfigured cloud storage, like open S3 buckets, is a leading cause of breaches. Organizations must manage cloud IAM, encryption, and access logs. Auditors check for evidence of active cloud security management. Know the differences in responsibility for IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Assuming the cloud is secure by default is a recipe for disaster. The CISA exam will test your understanding of these cloud concepts. Even the best technology can be undone by human error or manipulation. Social engineering, like phishing, tricks people into giving up secrets or clicking malicious links. Spear phishing targets individuals with convincing customized attacks. Insider threats come from both malicious and careless employees. Most damage is caused by honest mistakes, lost laptops, misdirected emails, or falling for scams. Security awareness training is the key control here. Auditors look for ongoing training programs and simulated phishing tests. A strong security culture is your best defense against human threats. Bringing it all together, CISA Domain 5 is the largest and most critical part of the exam. It represents a significant portion of the questions you'll face, so mastering these concepts is absolutely essential for success. We're talking about the core principles that underpin effective information systems auditing. Success isn't about memorizing terms, it's about truly grasping the underlying concepts. Don't just try to rote learn definitions. Instead, focus on understanding how these terms apply in real-world scenarios, but understanding how controls work together to manage risk. Think of it as a symphony, where each instrument, control, plays a vital role in creating a harmonious and secure environment. Each control contributes to the overall risk mitigation strategy. The exam tests your ability to think like an auditor, to approach situations with a critical and analytical mindset, spot risks, evaluate controls, and judge their effectiveness. Can you identify vulnerabilities? Can you determine if the existing controls are adequate to protect against those vulnerabilities? Focus on data classification, understanding the different levels of sensitivity, and how to protect data accordingly. Least privilege. Ensuring that users only have the necessary access to perform their job functions, and nothing more. Encryption, a fundamental security control that protects data both in transit and at rest. Cloud responsibilities, knowing who is responsible for what in a cloud environment, as responsibilities are often shared between the provider and the customer. And layered security, implementing multiple layers of security controls to provide redundancy and resilience. Know why each control exists. What problem is it designed to solve? Firewalls filter traffic, preventing unauthorized access to your network. MFA protects against stolen passwords, adding an extra layer of security beyond just a username and password, and so on. Understand the purpose and function of each control within the broader security framework. Common failures come from missing the big picture, failing to see how individual controls contribute to the overall security posture. Like ignoring misconfigured firewalls, which can create significant vulnerabilities in your network, or poor key management. Weak or compromised encryption keys can render your encrypted data useless. Auditors look for ongoing monitoring to detect and respond to security incidents in a timely manner. Regular testing, such as penetration testing and vulnerability assessments, to identify weaknesses in your defenses, and incident response plans. Having a well-defined plan to respond to security incidents is crucial for minimizing damage and disruption. Security isn't a one-time project. It's not something you can simply set up and forget about. It's continuous. It requires ongoing effort and adaptation to stay ahead of evolving threats. Connect these principles to your daily life. See how they apply in your personal and professional activities. Notice MFA in your everyday online interactions and appreciate the added security it provides. Physical security, measures in place to protect physical assets and prevent unauthorized access, and suspicious emails. Be vigilant and learn to identify phishing attempts and other malicious emails. Your job is to provide assurance, to give stakeholders confidence that their information systems are secure and well managed. Are the walls strong, providing a robust defense against external threats? The locks secure, preventing unauthorized access to sensitive data and systems? And the guards alert? Are security personnel vigilant and responsive to potential threats? The CISA exam is designed to assess your knowledge and skills in these critical areas, and real-world auditing is about applying these principles in practical situations, is about honest, evidence-based assessment. It's about providing an objective and unbiased evaluation of the security posture. Remember, you're not just checking boxes. You're not simply going through a checklist without understanding the underlying implications. You're protecting the digital kingdom. You are a guardian of valuable information assets. That's the essence of information systems auditing. It's about protecting information assets, managing risk, and providing assurance to stakeholders.